Yes, as I walk through the uncanny valley of death, you shall fear no evil, for I am that evil.
We're talking about Cloverfield today. It's the Uncanny Valley. This movie's from sometime in the 2000s. It's directed by the Batman guy, Matt Reeves.
Produced by the Star Wars guy and the Lost guy.
Yeah.
And the man that some would say is lost, J.J. Abrams.
He can be. I watched an interview and he started it by saying, I was watching Godzilla and I thought, why is there no iconic monster for decades in America like this? Which I thought was the most hubristic way to look at doing an American rendition of what culturally Godzilla means. Which I think this winds up being, it's referencing 9/11 and the way that Godzilla was referencing the bomb dropping. But that's such a wild way to get into that.
Yeah, it's because he didn't even say that he'd watched the Godzilla film. He just went, "Oh, I went to a lot of Japanese toy stores," and was like, "Yo, why don't we have it?" What do you mean that's crazy, Chris? You watched a clip. You just told me you watched this clip, and now you're going, "Wow, there's new information here."
I'm just giving you some fucking accents on what you're saying, man. Just proceed with the information. I'm gonna keep hyping you up, whether you want it or not.
Only just started. You can't be whipping out the accents. Save them for later on.
Fine.
Yeah, it was for some.
No pizzazz. You'll have no pizzazz then. That's your choice.
See how normally we do physical media talk. For some reason, that seems to be like a reoccurring thing. See how
it's a good segment. Let's encourage physical media.
Yeah, it's a good thing. But see how I messaged you one day going, "Score, I found a DVD of Cloverfield that says 2 hours exclusive special features."
Yeah. Sounds like that didn't pan out.
No, they're not exclusive whatsoever. And an hour and a half of those 2 hours is director's commentary.
That's a cheat. You're not allowed to do that.
It's sneaky. It's really sneaky. But on the 4K at least, it has seemingly everything. I think on the DVD release, there is a secret that leads to part of the ARG that now none of the websites are still being held by Bad Robot. And Chris, help me out here. Who else made this?
Is it Paramount that put this out?
Atomic Monster? Does that sound? Is that
Atomic Monster? I have no idea.
Don't. I'm sure that's a thing. Watch, I'm going to look up and it'll be like an action figure company or something.
Yeah, look it up. I have a mechanical keyboard. I'm not looking it up.
Speaking of, Chris, have you ever seen the Cloverfield action figure that is insanely rare and insanely expensive?
No. How expensive is it? And then how rare is it in that order?
It is. Well, it comes hand in hand. It's one of those things that if you can find it, it's up to however much you want to spend on it, really.
What's the lowest you've seen it go for?
I've seen one sell for a couple of hundred. I've seen one sell for about 1,000.
Yeah.
But it is Atomic Monster is James Wan's production company from 2014. When did I get this?
It's made by the Atomic Monster entirely.
And someone. Hold on.
How big is the Cloverfield statue?
Oh, it is a good size figure. It even comes with a little diorama of New York behind it. Yeah, looking right now. Not a single listing. Someone on Etsy has made a custom 3D printed one, but he made him really dark grey. And he's not. He's a big pale boy.
Yeah, it's just the lighting of the nighttime that makes him look like that.
Were you under the impression that Clovey was a boy?
I hadn't really thought about it, but when I think about it, no, because also like other life forms come out of this thing.
Yeah, but I think they're little parasite things. I don't think they're children because Chloe's a baby.
They're just things
According
that
to
dragged up from the ocean or somewhere else.
yeah, I imagine it's like see how you get symbiotic relationships with animals out in the wild, where animals will uh, jump on the back of things and scran whatever jumps atop of it.
Yeah,
But
they're
that's
like
that's
eldritch barnacles.
yeah, something along those lines. I can't give you a
Interesting.
definite what they are because nowhere on any of the special features. I haven't watched the commentary. To be fair, no, they don't mention. Apparently, they're called parasites, but that's a shit name. I call them clover mites. I feel like
I like
clover
that.
fights. Clover fights. Oh, you can tell this is a late one for
Over
me.
fights. Truth be told, I hadn't thought about it, and the way you asked the question, I know that she's a girl now, so I can't really tell you one way or the other what I thought
No, she's
of
a
this one.
boy.
But she's a
She's a
boy.
he. I
Oh,
don't. For
okay.
some
Well,
reason,
there you go.
after all this, I've always referred to Chloe as she. I don't know why. I think she looks feminine. She's got like the big anime eyes.
I just
She's a
didn't
cute.
think about it, I
Oh, she's a
guess.
kid. Speaking, well, I mean, we've not even started on the movie. We're just jumping all over the place.
It's
Chris,
fine.
the
I
most
feel like we need to let go of the structure a little bit. Yeah,
yeah,
it
the
just wastes
length of
time.
note. It's so cute, Chris. I love the Chloe design so much. It's like the most horrifying thing you've ever seen, but it's also adorable at the same time.
Somehow.
I'm
It's like a
sending you a
big
photo.
ET a little bit.
It's like I can't even describe. They said that they gave it great white shark eyes, and when they were because there was a whole section in the behind the scenes of the guy designing the monster. Apparently, when he made concept art of it, he just did it really scratchy, so it was kind of up for interpretation. So that way, if JJ says he likes something, it might have been something that he just saw but wasn't there. And also, if he agreed to doing something, he could change stuff himself and just be like, "Oh, I thought that's what you meant," which
Okay.
is a fucking move. But I mean, it came. I'm sending into the chat the photo of the Chloe figure with a little Godzilla. And there's something. It's like it gives heavy. Do not talk to me or my son ever again. Energy.
Alright.
It's not
Let's see
why
this.
I had this problem last time with the gore images. I deleted the gore images. I accidentally jump scared myself when I joined the chat with those. It's not sending. Fuck it. But yeah, Chris? What was your first experience seeing Cloverfield? Did you know anything about it when you first watched it?
My first experience was watching it when it came out in the theaters with my dad, which is 2008. I didn't say at the start.
Oh
So
fuck, Chris!
I
That was you
was.
into you
One more time?
lucky son of a bitch. You're a
Oh,
lucky bastard.
yeah, it was a good experience. Uh,
Did he prep you beforehand? Did you know what was happening?
Not really. I don't. There must have been trailers beforehand because it's so New York centric. I'm sure they advertised it in New York a lot. I'm sure there was imagery of the Statue of Liberty on the street. Uh, but I didn't know too much as far as I remember. I was 16. Not even. I was 8.
Such an old,
I don't know.
decrepit man.
Why is my math so bad? I was 14. I was 14. Yeah, there you go. I'm
I
watching
thought
it in the background right now. I'm looking at images of Clovey.
for some reason I assumed you'd have been like
I
6 or
was born in
7. I was like,
1996. Listeners can do their own math if they trust that more.
yeah, but I hadn't done the math. I thought you'd have been about 6 or 7 there, and I was like, that must have been the most horrifying cinema experience.
Or 12 years old. No, it was
Oh,
fun. I was old enough to understand what was going on. I don't know why my math is so fucked up today. All the coffee, too much coffee, not doing anything good for me.
I don't know, because I know I'm familiar with some of the marketing, because, I mean, the marketing's infamous with the Cloverfield franchise. But I don't know if they released full trailers before the movie, because everyone knows of the opening weekend for the original Transformers. There was what's the clip? Hold on, I know the quote. What's the quote? It's, "Oh, I saw it. It's alive. It's here." Scene with the Statue of Liberty head, with just the release date, and I think it was like maybe a month and a half, 2 months out from it actually releasing. You would never get away with that shit nowadays.
No, they tried with the Cloverfield paradox, but it did not pan out.
But the problem with Cloverfield paradox is whenever J.J. Abrams and Bad Robot team up, people go, okay, there's a 90%
Bad Robot
chance
is J.J. Abrams' production company.
Yeah, but he'll sometimes still work with because you see him with like Disney and that for Star Wars. But when he's with his production company, you're looking at a 90% chance that next movie is supposed to be a Cloverfield. Whether or not it becomes a Cloverfield is a different matter, as you see with Underwater and Overlord and Super 8 films that very clearly do fit in the lore and just need an additional scene or two to connect them up.
Was Underwater supposed to be one?
That's Bad Robot, is it not? I'm sure that's a Bad Robot production.
I don't think so.
I remember people were going insane around the release of Underwater, going, this is 100% another one of these Cloverfield movies. Whether or not it actually becomes one is a different matter.
It definitely could be.
No, I think it's Fox. Maybe people thought they were pulling the wool over their eyes and not going with the company that they should have went, and it was a ruse the entire time. Because I remember the Cloverfield fan base was going crazy when the trailer for that dropped.
Interesting.
But yeah, it's like, I feel like the only way he could do it nowadays would be he needs to have an incredibly tight team and not license anything, not put any copyrights out, and only talk to like a room of 10 people. Because
everything will leak at this point.
But it's not even things will leak. Anytime it comes up, Bad Robot is working on a thing, people go, okay, there's going to probably maybe be a Cloverfield. You can't get eyes off it now. Like, I know.
So you're saying don't even let it get announced like that?
No, don't even. But see, the problem would be then if Bad Robot doesn't put out that they're working on an untitled product, people are going to go, yo, shit, I bet they're working on Cloverfield right now. The copium in the fan base is strong. Since we had that announcement for Cloverfield 2, like 3 years ago at this point, and still nothing has happened with it.
What do you think they would do in a Cloverfield 2?
Well, they said it was supposed to be a direct sequel to Cloverfield 1, which you would think would mean, okay, we're going the Cloverfield monster again. But you can't really just do the first movie again.
No, and New York is gone. Spoilers for Cloverfield.
Well, New York isn't gone. Manhattan's gone.
Yeah, that's what I meant by New York.
I'm pretty sure they exclusively
the island
Midtown, and then you're gonna have to keep me up to date with like where shit's going on in this movie. The end of this movie is at Grand Central Park, isn't it?
It is. It's sort of Grand Central Park is not just Central Park. Did you say Grand Central Park?
No, I'm thinking Grand Central Station, aren't I?
Yeah. That's on 42nd Street.
Does Clovey not
it's
also
in Central Park.
That?
One more time.
Doesn't Clovey also smash through that as they're running towards the helicopter?
What are they running? No, because they have to go to. They don't go far enough over to get to Grand Central. I don't remember what they run through.
But
They don't show a lot of them running to the helicopter station.
Yeah, but
they say that's on 40th and Park.
I just need you to be the expert because I know in the background it is a big white building that is tall but doesn't have that many floors, and it has that little, the little car ramp outside Grand Central Station. It's something very similar to that.
That would be Grand Central. Maybe I was taking a note while Clovey smashed through it then.
This is your hometown, Chris. You should be picking up if things don't line up.
Yeah, I've been focusing on it. No, you're right, because that is literally 40th and Park is Grand Central Station. I thought it was further over than that. So there you go. It did confuse me that they went back and forth a bunch. It didn't confuse me, but it was unfortunate for the characters because they come from downtown, they go up to Midtown, and then they have to go back downtown again. Sort of down Broadway instead of just uptown.
Well, that's another question I had for you. During the whole skirmish, we'll say it's going on, is it feasible to be from where they are in New York to try to walk to Brooklyn across the Brooklyn Bridge, then walk in the tunnels in the subway to where they wanted to go, and then get back towards Grand Central Station? Is that actually feasible?
The thing is, they have a decent amount of time to do all of it because the start of the movie, the party starts at about 7 p.m. and the event doesn't probably happen till 9 or 10 p.m. and then they have until 6 a.m. the next morning. But they must meet the soldiers around 3. It's tight. It's tight is what's going on. It's a sprawling journey, and it never looked legitimate, the streets of New York, so I was kind of redeemed to hear that a lot of it was a soundstage in California. It makes sense.
That was my follow-up question. I was like, how? Because from someone that's only seen New York in movies, a lot of that I'm like, that looks like there's nothing sticking out to me that looks incorrect.
It looks like movie New York, but that makes it look good. Like there's a scene playing in the background right now where they're in a grocery store or a drugstore and the windows are huge, which nothing looks like that here really, but it works for the smoke passing by the windows and all the effects that they're going for.
Yeah, and for a soundstage in 2008,
it looks fantastic. It still looks great, and I love it as a New York movie. I don't think it delegitimizes it.
It's insane that not only did they 3D model most of New York, well, for what they needed for that, but for it to look as good as it does and maintain the sort of 3D effect, because this is the shit that like Disney's struggling with right now with the MCU. And this shit would have been new tech. Well, not new tech, but like pretty like pushing what you could do with CGI back in 2008.
Yeah, it's very impressive. There were some shots, I assume you saw, of the sound stages with the green screen in the background. And a lot of it is effects.
Oh, were you the Statue of Liberty head scene?
Yes.
Yeah, it's crazy the way they do it. They time the smoke in the video coming towards them with the smoke machines on set, so it gives like the full effect. It looks so good, man.
Yeah, it's like a good 4D theater show, basically.
And the insane thing is, it's lit so well. The deep, like, orange and yellow and green tones throughout this entire film.
I love the colors.
It's not something you've asked. Another thing I have to say, see the 4K for this. I feel like this wasn't shot on film. I don't say this could have been shot on film.
No.
I'm pretty sure it was just Matt Reeves with a digital camera. See, that's the thing I was talking about the other times, where if you go back to Incantation, where I was like, why do we have multiple cameras on set? Because all that's going to do is fuck up your ability to keep it believable that you have a camera. But you see the behind the scenes of this, and it's Matt Reeves running about corners with a little camera in his hand. And it worked so much better.
And they said that they had whoever held the camera dressed up as TJ Miller's character, right?
Oh, did they? But see, that's a fun fact. It would have been nice to include in the making of. Did you watch the making of this?
I just watched half of a 30-minute video that I found.
See, that's another thing with the special features.
But then you said there was no good special features, so I kind of didn't continue with it.
It's not. There's no good. There's deleted scenes, and all of them don't add anything. And there's audio commentary with Matt Reeves going, "Yeah, this didn't add anything, so we cut it."
That's funny. One of them is just more improv at the party, right?
Yeah, and it's a shame that TJ Miller took an asshole because he has such good chemistry with everyone on set in those videos.
Yeah, he's good in this. It's a weird role. In the video I watched, there was a camera woman recorded telling him, you can screw this up in two ways now. You can screw up as an actor and as a cameraman, which I thought was funny.
I mean, wasn't most of the entire party scene just improv?
Yeah. And there's an actor with curly hair who I believe is like a New York improv actor, or just a known improv actor who improvised a bunch and that got cut. Known to somebody, clearly not to me.
Well, whilst we're on, it's strange that there is like, well, I wouldn't say big name actors, but there's like B-list celebrities in that scene that add nothing to this movie. Like Theo Rossi from fucking Sons of Anarchy is just a guy at the party. Why is he just there?
I don't know who Theo Rossi is.
He is one of the main crew members. Well, he's kind of one of the background crew members of Sons of Anarchy, but as the show progresses, he slowly becomes like one of the main players in that entire. And he's been in a bunch of stuff.
Oh, I do know who this is. Yeah, interesting. Yeah, he did just show up.
Yeah, but it weirds me out because he's in so many films and he always just shows up as a guy for a sec and then dips. And it's like, where are you just keeping your face in the public eye? But whilst we're on the party, two things are in the background of this that aren't that noticeable unless you follow the lore. Do you have an idea of either one of those?
No, there's one moment where they hear a news broadcast of like an oil tanker collapsing, right? Maybe that. Yeah,
well, that obviously is in connection to Clovey waking up and attacking the oil rig.
Oh, I did also watch a short promotional news clip of like news footage of a lady announcing that an oil rig had sunk and there's like a dark cloud moving under it.
Oh, did you see the photos that they made of the man in the fisher boat with like the ominous deep red cloud under him?
No.
Horrified. Did you see the photo of Clovey climbing up the oil rig that they've released?
No, I wish I had seen all of this as a kid because that would have freaked me out and been fun.
It's again, we'll go back because we're always fucking talking about this, but my thalassophobia. Clovey I find cute on land. It's horrifying, and it's a scenario I would not want to place myself in. But see, if this movie was set on the oil rig, I would struggle to make my way through this film. Because
that's a good idea for a sequel, though, right? Is pare it down somehow.
I think the only way you could tie back another film to the oil rig would be, again, you would have to hide its bad robot, and you would have to make a disaster movie about an oil rig, and then not show what the disaster is until people are seeing the film, and then have it be Clovey. But even then, you're not doing anything with the plot at that point. And then the we know what happens to it. Everyone fucking dies. Like 300 people die on that oil rig. It's not
Yeah,
like you
true.
hope of survivors.
Yeah, I
But
mean, maybe the story would be about 1 or 2 people making it out. I don't know how you make a bigger sequel to this without it being too big.
I mean, I could say you would make Mama wake up, but we've seen the size of Mama in Paradox.
Too big. Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
that would,
awesome too big, but also I don't know how you'd make a movie of that.
there's not even any monster in fiction that I could compare the size of a fully grown Clovey to. It's
The
like
only comparison I can possibly think of is spoilers for Cabin in the Woods. Whatever's going to wake up at the end there seems like it's going to be about that big. That's the only thing I can think of.
yeah, but I think by that point you're just doing like Lovecraftian stuff. I feel like that's more of a when it wakes up the world ends type situation. I feel
Yeah,
like
if you do a movie with Big Clovey in the background, she would have to just be in the background. She couldn't be an active threat because that just wouldn't. Everything would be over so quickly. So it would be more. It would more have to be about the people that are left in the wake of this whole thing.
I'll say imagine the mites on that bad boy though.
Imagine the what?
The Clovey mites, the parasites.
Oh my god.
They would all be
Yeah,
roughly
no. You
Clovey
could have
size.
like an aliens type movie about that, maybe.
Well, whilst we're on the Clover, we'll need to circle back to the party at some point. But the Clover mites, the one thing I would say in this movie, maybe the CGI's aged a little bit iffy on. But for the most part, it's the scene in the tunnel, and they look incredible and with the night vision.
They
The
do.
the
The
eyes
lighting in
coming
this
from
movie
the
is so good, and it feels too dark sometimes, but it never feels unintentional. And when the special effects come on, it's clear that the contrast and color is so finely tuned for everything to look really in order and in sort of a color palette with each other. Because there's a way you could shoot this and edit this where all the special effects look really bad.
a little bit of shade to Bong Joon-ho.
Yeah, yeah, that's a great point.
I mean,
I'm
if you
looking
had
at a scene right now where there's footage of a helicopter shining a light on Clovey. And it's crazy that you can. Just the lighting of that shot is really well done. It's not showing too much, but they're showing more than a lot of other movies would show this soon that are trying not to show a lot.
yeah, but it's interesting because it's like you have the intentional lighting and you have the amount of characters that during any of the big scenes they have to balance on screen at any time. And this movie would be so much easier done as not a found footage movie because typically found footage is used as a crux for we don't have good effects, we're kind of amateurs, but we want to make a movie and this will help hide those flaws. But this movie wouldn't have those flaws regardless of it. This is very intentionally found footage for the sake of putting you in that scenario.
And
And I
it's
still think
really good at that.
it is really good. I still think it's the best found footage movie. And
The shots of the smoke cloud coming on are still so scary as someone who lived through 9/11 and has seen a lot of that imagery in real life and knows people who are affected by that. Like, realistically, if these characters didn't die in the course of this movie, their lungs would be absolutely shredded by all the asbestos in these old buildings that are being knocked over.
maybe that's what the sequel could be about.
Just the
Cloverfield
cancer ward that
cancer.
everyone's in.
Yeah, because I'm sure there must be some bad shit in the air if a big pale fish from the Mariana Trench was up stinking about New York City
Very
with
true.
its weird little goo monsters. Speaking of, okay, we need to circle back to the
What
party.
do you
There's
think they
two.
eat, the little guys?
This is what I'm going to come back to, Chris. But to do that, we need
Okay.
to turn back time to the party. 2 details. 1, Rob's brother Jason has a Slusho t-shirt. Very important, but he has a Slusho t-shirt.
I'm vaguely aware that this soda company is part of the lore. I'm not really sure how. Like, the company is associated with Saranga, or whatever it's called.
Tagroato.
Tagroato. Thank you.
Where'd you get Saranga from?
I don't know.
Just making up words on the spot.
It's just because I'm so creative.
But second important little thing, there is a blonde girl who is passed out on the couch. Her name is Jamie. You would not know this from watching the movie, but if you followed the Cloverfield ARG that took place during the marketing, the ARG, it connects to food review sites. It goes to MySpace, for Skype things, for business websites. It could go on forever, but we'll do long story short. There is a Japanese mining company called Tagroato who typically do oil mining, but they also sometimes do dodgy science experiments, which is where Overlord, if it was going to be connected to Cloverfield, would come into it. Because during their deep sea mining expeditions, they found a substance called seabed nectar. Now, seabed nectar is what is in the blood of the mites that Clovey has on their body, but it can be found around the sea in different places. Although they found a concentration of it near the New York harbour, causing them to build an oil rig around it as a decoy, which is where you get the oil rig and how Clovey wakes up. Now, the thing with seabed nectar is it is incredibly good for you. It boosts your metabolism, it makes your energy, it increases your strength, but it also fucks with your body. But it is also incredibly addictive, something that is beneficial if you are running a food and beverage
company. How does
company.
it fuck with your body?
Well,
we talking like body horror stuff or just bad liver failure kind of stuff?
Well, we see one.
Not that that's not a type of body horror.
Well, the character we see has ingested some of it is Jamie, and she's slowly going insane throughout the course of the ARG after taking it. It's not like Joker insanity, it's like she just becomes really fucking weird and ill. But as I said, seabed nectar is highly concentrated in the blood of the parasites. So you see what happens later on in the film when someone gets bitten by one of the parasites.
Yeah.
So there's a whole lot of shit going on in that opening scene. But that's why I had to come back to it. The parasites have this substance. I think they eat the substance, and that is why they are full of the substance.
Crazy.
If you catch my drift.
Yeah. Why are they trying to drag people away?
I assume just to munch on them. I know a pair of the arms that Clovey has are not arms, they are feeding tubes. And they originally in the storyboard there was going to be a scene where the tubes suck up people on the street, but it got cut. I assume the parasites were dragging TJ Miller back to the Clovey tubes.
Oh, okay. That would have been terrifying, and I like the imagery, but I also feel like the movie is better off for not having that. It might have been slightly too much.
I feel like it would be very difficult to pull off little dangly, flaily tubes.
Yeah, it wouldn't have looked. It would have looked like the building tubes that they use to transport materials when they're hammering into the side of a building on a scaffold.
I've never thought about it in this way. I was thinking more about Jean Jacket from Nope, with the giant vaginal imagery that you get from that.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Who was
That's
don't moan,
effective.
oh my god, after I say, oh my god, yeah.
Horrible.
Okay, we'll go with horrible. Feeling a different sort of emotion there.
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
Tell us about that.
Oh no, that's you. That's for you to share in your own time. I'm not here
Okay.
to air out your dirty laundry. But, yeah. So where were we at before I went on a huge tirade?
We were still at the party. Did we finish talking about the girl who was texting in the ARG?
Because no, she is. Well, we last see her very sick and going a bit cuckoo. We then see her on the couch with that's just the little connection there. Because she has a MySpace account. I don't think it's still up anymore, but she is close friends with all of our main cast. They just kind of left her there when she passed out, I suppose.
Okay. Well, fair. I have a note that it's miraculous they managed to stay together in the evacuation. You know, because if
During
they
what
didn't stay
evacuation?
together, they would have split up right then. There's no way you're waiting around for your friends while this whole thing is popping off.
But isn't that this movie? It's the power of friendship. We're looking out for each other. Doesn't go well for any of them.
No, but that's like what you know, this isn't, I guess, the most authentically New York movie, but that's sort of true to the 9/11 imagery and experience was there was a lot of people running into the horrible smoke clouds to help people. Uh,
And yeah, Batman. I've seen Batman versus Superman. Ben
exactly.
Affleck was right up in there.
And even
He
there's an issue where all
he
the
saved the
villains
town.
run into the Twin Tower rubble.
Yeah, New York had it rough. They had that, and then they had General Zod and Cloverfield all happen within like 11 years of each other.
That was a rough decade, let me tell you. That was not good on my psyche or my social life. That
I
made it
really
hard
think
to go outside.
you just have to stop with skyscrapers at this point. I think you're drawing too big of a target on yourself.
Yeah, and then they fall and it breaks a lot of other things.
Even back in the 40s, you had the space Nazis constructing the Manhattan. Women, oh fuck, what's that big building called?
Is that the Empire State Building?
Thank you, Chris. Thank you.
Uh-huh.
You've got weird Nazi space metal building that as well. But you do
Great.
have Spider Man.
That's true. Speaking of, you know, not just now, but speaking of Superman, I love the moment where HUD goes, "Oh my God, you know who Superman is?" And he gets made fun of for that.
Yeah, I feel like the relationship between him and what is our character's name called? I have it in my note.
Marlena?
Is it Marlena?
Yeah.
It is.
Marlena or Marlena, they say it different ways. I'm not sure if there's
I'm
one or
thinking
two
it's just,
E's.
I think it's Marlene. Yes, it is Marlene. I'm checking my notes here.
Just
But
Marlene. Okay.
yeah, the relationship between them, it's weird. It's because he's a perv at the beginning. But like as the film goes on, you genuinely feel quite bad for him, and you start to like the relationship between them building.
They have good banter.
Well, at first it's not really banter on her end; it's her telling him to shove up your ass.
Oh, at first he's harassing her a little bit. She says repeatedly, I don't want to be filmed." And he keeps going just a moment, and he keeps trying to film her from different angles until she relents.
He also keeps touching her shoulder, which I feel like being T.J. Miller as the
Ew.
one character to do that out of everyone, it makes you feel a wee bit. Ugh. Luckily, you don't see his face for the majority of the runtime, aside
Maybe it
from
was
an
J.J.
odd bit.
Abrams.
Has J.J. Abrams got controversy I'm unaware of?
No.
Or is
Not
he
that
just
I'm
accusing
aware
him of
of,
being a
anyway.
trick test on the record? I
The
get you don't like
little
mystery
clover
books.
mites look horrible.
They do, but I like their little design. They're like little
They're very
dogs.
spidery.
They're like little spider dogs. I like the little noise they make when when people hit them. Because you contrast that with Clovey's noise. Clovey sounds horrifying when it screeches.
It's
And
very
then
eldritch. And these sound kind of like Minecraft monsters a little bit, yeah.
it's especially, see, there's one shot that is not supposed to be goofy, and I don't think people would pick up on how goofy it was unless you've seen it about 10 times like I have. But it's when TJ Miller is fighting off one of the mites, and not only is the CGI on its jaw coming in and out, stretching in strange proportionate ways that make it look comically large, but it's when the mite gets grabbed and goes, "Ah!" she runs away. It just makes me. I don't know why I feel so maternal toward all the monsters in Cloverfield. I think
Interesting.
it's the big. I feel like they share eyes with my hamster. They've got the big boba eyes.
They're cute, and Clovey, big baby Clovey, has sort of a no neck thing going on that makes her look cute. Makes him look cute.
And it's got the little stumpy legs. Don't forget, like
Yeah.
the gorilla movement.
It has a helpless look to it. It looks like something that would not be able to fend for itself in the wild around other things its size.
Do you think? Okay, obviously it's attacking because it's scared. That tends to happen when the military starts dropping bombs on top of you. But do you think, say, Clovey woke up in a non-city area, do you think it would instinctively attack people like you see at the end of the movie? Because by the end of the movie, Clovey's just munching people.
Yeah, it's really mad by the end. That's a good question. I think so because it's just, well, it doesn't eat TJ Miller at the end. It just sort of munches him and drops him. So maybe it's not for sustenance. It's
I'm
a good
sure there was
question.
a bit of munching. There was a little bit of munching. I like
Just a
that
little bit.
Clovey is, because the way we described it when they were talking about the creature design was it is like fresh out of the womb egg, brand new baby. This is its first experience with the world. I like that it can still chuck a part of building and hit a helicopter that's in flight spot on when it gets mad.
Absolutely nuts. Do you usually remember that there's a survivor in this movie?
Is
It
there a
took me a few
survivor in this movie?
rewatches. Is it Jessica Lowndes? I don't remember her name, but the
Lily?
Lily,
Did
yes.
Lily survive? I thought
She
she
gets
got in
in
the
a
helicopter.
helicopter before everyone else, and as far as we know, it gets away.
Holy shit, you're sort of us. So that's probably where the sequel would pick up, I'd imagine.
That would be cool. I like her. I like that actor.
I watched this movie ending like 4 times with Matt Reeves' alternative ending things, and I was like, but where the fuck is she? I just assumed she died in a helicopter crash.
I paid attention this time because I always assumed that she survived. I always missed it. The first 3 or 4 times I watched it. Then I was happy she made it out. She's in another horror movie. I think she's in Evil Dead 2013. She's the nurse.
There's
Uh, but
the other girl that's in the cabin with
yeah, I
the.
think she's spoilers for that movie. I think she's the first one who dies in that.
She's the one that's dating. We couldn't afford TJ Miller.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
We couldn't afford T.J. Miller or Logan Marshall Green.
Speaking of little side note, did you see that production for Evil Note, Evil Dead
Evil
Wrath,
Note.
Evil Note? It's the scarier Death Note.
I feel like
Uh,
Evil Note is a little toned down from Death Note.
no, because you
Evil
can
Note's
do
like a
good.
note that's making people get into accidents where they get covered in paint.
Is that evil? I feel like that's in good jest.
Well, it's going to cost them a lot of money in the long run.
I feel like evil is like writing that someone's puppy's going to get run down in the street.
Oh, that's horrible. That is worse than death.
Or like a family member suffers an accidental gunshot wound.
Oh my god.
I feel like
All right.
they tripped whilst painting their wall.
And then the paintbrush got impaled in their eye, and also their baby saw it.
I get Ryuk in Death Note wasn't too happy with how L was using the Death Note. But I feel like if you got the god of evil and he saw you writing DIY accidents in the evil note, I feel like you'd just get that taken straight back off you. There wouldn't even be any bargain.
You think I'm not evil enough for the evil note?
Do you know the evil note could be a fun concept if it's like a very young child that gets it, and it's like a sitcom with the god of evil having to deal with a toddler that doesn't understand what evil's supposed to be and just pulls mischievous pranks on people.
Well, and then one day that kid, because he's not like, he doesn't understand the world, would just go, I hope Billy dies and I get his Spider-Man outfit.
Oh shit, you can make it go really dark.
And also, when I get to school, all of Billy's friends are my friends, and they don't remember Billy at all.
So that would be fucked up. That's all kinds of fucked up. I'd rather have L do that. Just give me a heart attack or some shit.
Imagine a really demented Fairly Odd Parents.
I mean, that's what Death Note is it not?
That's true. That's true.
But we got. Did you see that Evil Dead Wrath is already in production? Like, I think they're filming it now.
I did see that. Yeah, that's exciting.
Burn's not even out yet. That's so sick. I'm so glad that this is going to be a continuous thing that we keep getting. Because they promised it with 2013, and then it took like 7 years to get another one. And it's like it was a 2-location film shoot. It couldn't have took you that long to pen the script.
What is the location for Wrath?
No, not Wrath, but for Rise.
Oh, you're talking about Rise. Yeah.
What's the location for Burn? Is that what the new one's called?
I don't know. I don't keep up with movie news too much, just because I like to be surprised when I do see things in theaters.
But you'll see the trailer for it anyway, surely.
Sometimes I'll avoid trailers for movies I know I'll watch. Because why would I want to watch the trailer? I know I'll see all of this stuff already.
Did you also see that Lee Cronin's The Mummy is clearly just he wasn't allowed to make another Evil Dead movie, so he's made an Evil Dead movie and called it The Mummy?
I did not see that. That's interesting.
It's like, okay, the setup is, their daughter goes missing and is found in a 3,000-year-old sarcophagus.
Who's in it?
The daughter is...
Who's in it?
The daughter that went missing.
And no, who's in The Mummy?
Who's in The Mummy? I think it's all no-name people, isn't it? No one will know, really.
But it's clearly the daughter's gone missing.
Yeah, she's gone missing, and they find her in a 3,000-year-old sarcophagus, and they're like, "Well, how the fuck did she get there?" And then the test screenings were disastrous, and obviously that's not necessarily a bad thing, because it happens with a lot of good movies. Sinners had bad test screenings, but the fact that the trailer goes from your daughter looks a little bit funny to this malformed, rotten girl in a hospital bed, like talking tongues and shit. You're like, okay, this is a bit goofy now. I can see why if this was your Evil Dead script, maybe they told you to pass on this one.
Yeah, you could have taken a hint.
The Blumhouse,
I'm excited for more
of
The Mummy movies in general that aren't the Tom Cruise one.
I was going to say Tom Cruise didn't wet your whistle for Mummy movies.
No. But what I like about this is even if this is bad, this will hopefully break the seal a little bit so someone else will make The Mummy movie sooner than later.
The Brendan Fraser Mummy movies being filmed now, I think.
Awesome.
So
I forgot
again,
that was happening. I'm excited for that.
Who the fuck gives a shit about Lee Cronin's The Mummy when Brendan Fraser The Mummy's coming out?
True.
Like, it'd be like, say, Christopher Lee was still alive, and they're like, okay, we're making a new Christopher Lee Dracula. And then someone went, but I want to make a Dracula movie. It's like, well, too late. Now's not your turn.
Okay, why not everyone's turn? All the time.
Because we haven't had a good werewolf movie in a while. Lee Winnell shit the bed on that. If you want
I
to
still
do
haven't
that,
seen that.
just don't. But it's such a mediocre film. You
That
won't
sucks.
come out happy or sad. You just go, yeah, that was a film that existed.
Hmm.
But there's
Should be
other
something.
Someone should do Creature from the Black Lagoon. We haven't had one of those in a while.
I feel like Shape of Water was sort of the side attempt at that, right?
No, you can't. No, fucking a fish person is not a horror movie.
No, it's not a horror
Frankenstein.
movie. Just that has been done in a high budget way recently.
Frankenstein, you can get away with that. Dracula, it's kind of integral to it. The Creature from the Black Lagoon, no. We don't need sex in our Creature from the Black Lagoon. It's a big fish, man. Just leave him as a big fish. He doesn't need to be a sexy fish, man.
I'm still down to see a Creature from the Black Lagoon movie. I think people could be adapting this stuff more often, and it would be more interesting than just making a new Star Wars movie.
Although the new Star Wars movie, Chris, does have Mia Goth in it, so we're not putting that in the trash just yet.
Okay, all right, I'll stay excited for that.
Is the only reason I give a shit about it. I'm at the point, I think, in my life where I just don't care about Star Wars anymore. The fan base has burnt me out of it too much. If I see some cool lightsabers, I might hop in. But I think it's just better for my mental health just to not be on that side of the internet anymore. I've picked
Yeah,
my
I can't be
battle.
confident I care at this point.
I've picked my battles with liking some sci-fi stuff and liking horror and liking Doctor Who. I can't keep adding more toxicity into the pot.
How's that toxicity? Liking Doctor Who?
Have you seen Twitter whenever anything Doctor Who gets announced? The second
No,
I saw,
I'm out of the loop with Doctor Who fan media besides the circle we're in.
okay, well, the very second, because I remember this like clear as day. I was on my work break at McDonald's, and Shooty Gatwa was always my fan cast for the Doctor. And then I got the announcement on my phone that Shooty Gatwa's next Doctor, and I went, "Oh no, Twitter!" And I went in. It's the biggest shit show you've ever seen in your life.
Oh no.
Just threads
Twitter.
after threads of the racism and sexism and any types of ism. If there's an ism in it, it was happening, and it was happening everywhere.
Look, I can't say I'm surprised, but that sucks.
But I don't get how that's how is it mustered such a fan base? It's like the wokest sci-fi show.
Yeah, I don't know. It should be. It's like someone liking Steven Universe and not being a good person. But I'm aware of at least one out there. It's just a weird. I don't know how you do that. How you watch this thing about where a kid sings about peace and love on the planet Earth, and you love this show, and somehow your takeaway is not to enact any of that. People really have media blinders.
To be fair, I do feel like half of the Steven Universe fan base is I want to fuck the little crystal people.
I'm not aware of that. That sucks. That's fun.
I mean, I don't know the little crystal people's age, so I'm not going to say if it's okay or not. But that's anytime I've seen any interaction online, it's like I know there won't be people. No, there's going to be people out there that don't want to fuck the characters.
The crystal
But
people
it's
are like spoilers for Steven Universe. They're like thousands of years old, I'm pretty sure.
Alvin, get your bag, I suppose.
Yeah.
But it's we're just not talking about Cloverfield anymore. But it's like the Sonic fandom. You know there's people out there that don't have weird fetishes involving the hedgehogs. But it's 90% of what you're going to see on the internet. Do you want to tie it back? Have you ever seen the plethora of Sonic Mpreg 9/11 fan art?
No, what is
You
how? What's the
know the,
relation?
I don't know. You know the
I'm
concept of
exhausted
impreg.
already.
You're
What do you
familiar
mean? What
with
do
it.
you mean Mpreg 911? How do those and Sonic?
Yeah, it's
What do
just
you
it's it's impreg fan fiction of Sonic just over 9/11 images.
over? Okay,
I'm sure there's a couple of video essays on YouTube I can send you if you want to get further into this.
I don't.
Typically, the dad, for a majority, for some reason, the dad is Luigi. But this is before like Luigi and Sonic fetish porn was a meme.
Oh, good.
It's like it originates far back.
Yeah. All right. Great.
Anyway,
Great.
this is educational for you.
Sure.
We're going into internet horror soon. You have to get more. You have to get deeper into the degeneracy of the internet.
I have to pickle my brain. I have to fill my head with vinegar.
No, but see, this is where I come in. I raw dog the weird shit online, and then you experience it from. I'm like your virtual condom. I will keep out the bad shit, but I will give you
Great.
the
I'm glad
desirable.
you're my virtual condom. Perfect.
Well, right now for Sonic Impreg, we'll see how far it goes.
There was a moment where TJ Miller says, "Do you remember when there was a homeless guy lighting people on fire in the subway?" And I went, "I've heard him say that every time, and I don't know if that's true at all." I looked it up. Apparently, that happened 2 months ago as well. So,
Okay, that was something I was going to ask you, and there's more questions to be broken down of that. Is it typical for homeless people to sleep in subway tubes in New York?
yeah, because I think especially during the colder months, because it's just a warm place, and they're not gonna pay people just to roam around and kick people out. Thankfully, I guess, but it's not like a great place. There's rats, whatever, living down there also.
Okay, well you're gonna have to explain more than this because Glasgow subway, there's no space to lie down unless it's the standing platforms. Is that where they are? Surely they're not in the tunnels.
No, no, they would be in the tunnels because there's just sort of dead space in some areas, and then I'm trying to think of the best way to envision it. You know how on a bridge, if there's a two-way train crossing, well, just imagine a bridge with a two-way train crossing, and then imagine that enclosed off. Like it's not a tight, narrow tunnel. It's sort of a carved-out space with the tracks in them. Because there's also a bunch of lights that people need to. Train crews do walk through to operate on things in the middle of it. And then there's also sections where there's connections to tracks that aren't used anymore or just to other tracks and other lines. So there's more open spaces. And then there's some areas where there's not, as far as I'm aware, not quite like they show in this movie, but there are turnoffs into like maintenance corridors or workspaces.
Okay, so you're not. Say I'm homeless in New York and I'm going into the tunnels. I'm not going to accidentally roll over and be bisected. I've got like some
No,
wiggle
no,
room.
you'd be finding somewhere further away from the train, even
Okay.
if
Do they
just
run 24
slightly.
7?
One more time?
The trains, are they 24/7?
Yes.
Oh, that's a dangerous game.
It is, yeah. It's like playing Frogger, I guess, at that point. There's areas too where there's just like little staircases up into an alcove, kind of, that I guess used to be used for maintenance, or maybe lead to maintenance stores that I'm not aware of.
That's a dangerous game. I think I would just risk a cold, man. I don't think I would be.
There's some maintenance stores in New York City subways stations that are hobbit sized.
Oh,
I'm not fucking with you. I don't know why they're 4 feet tall, but they are.
oh. Okay, maybe that's for Santa's well. Get about on Christmas Day, take a tube.
Maybe that kind of makes sense.
So I feel like I don't know. This is a very strange. Aren't your tracks electrical?
Yes.
How the fuck are we walking on them? Rubber soles, I suppose, but you're asking for one hole having a bad day.
One more time. You're just saying like someone running over on the tracks if they're trying to sleep down there?
Yeah, like if you're walking down the tunnels, you couldn't do that in Glasgow. The tracks are electrical. If you jumped down, you'd shock yourself.
There's a third rail that conducts all of the electricity.
No. You seem to be quite an expert in this.
I like the trains. They're interesting.
Okay.
Yeah, all the electricity is conducted into a third rail, but then because of that, this third rail is like an extra danger rail, basically. So they have a little wooden plank on top of it everywhere. But if you touch it, you're fucked. You're donezo. Hitman assassination completed.
Oh, that can be bad if you wake up from like a hangover. You accidentally tap out on the way out your tube.
Oh yeah, if you're imbalanced, maybe it would just balance you just enough. It wouldn't actually kill you.
Okay, now going back to the man that's setting the homeless people alight, is this like a hobby of his? Was this a one-time occurrence?
Well, a couple months ago, it was a teenager. I don't know what story they're talking about. I didn't dig deep enough. I mostly wanted to know if that ever happened, and hearing that it happened 2 months ago makes me think it happens more often than I would want to know.
But I feel like surely trains would get shut down if like there's a flaming homeless man on the tracks.
The trains do get shut down for stuff pretty frequently, but then there's also a lot of workarounds on different track switches. Because people also rarely jump on the tracks, and then they have to figure that out.
Oh, see, Glasgow just goes, who cares? He paid for their tickets, fuck him, and just closes the train. Because they always do it at Glasgow Central Station, and it's like that's the one line you can't do it on because you're going to close every single train. Please just choose a different station. You're closing off every single train in Glasgow jumping there, and you're also most likely to get stopped there. Go out to like a town or something where no one goes, because all you've done is you've caused a big backlog, and your legacy of death's going to be that cunt made me late for work.
That's it, yeah.
I feel like that's a bit disrespectful, but at the same time, any other station, that's all I ask.
It's
like,
so frustrating that someone would decide to do that, to be honest. And they're struggling, and that's awful, and they should get help. But also don't make it so many other people's problem.
That's what I think, because sorry, I had a hangnail that was pissing me off. That's my thing. I feel like in that
I'm
scenario,
watching the footage of Clovey and the helicopters, and Clovey does throw something that either is a car or the helicopter that their friend took off in.
Yeah, we've got insane aim.
Definitely,
I wouldn't be able to lob that if they're having a bomb run on me.
Crazy.
Yeah, okay, we'll finish this off quick. I feel like in that scenario, the last thing I want to do is be like, okay, I'm just going to... I suppose unless you're pissed off at the world and that's why you're doing it, it's a good last. I'm going to fuck this entire city for a full day.
Yeah, and you got to assume it's not even processing anything because it's a baby.
I was talking about jumping on the tracks.
Oh, jump on the tracks.
I feel like most babies aren't processing that, Chris.
No, I was thinking about Clovey. Yeah, no, I mean, you're not thinking about the people you're affecting at that point. It's not about that.
We've gotten lost on this one train track so many times.
We have. I thought I successfully segued out of it. But now we're stuck on the tracks again. We got tied to the tracks.
We got tied to the tracks. We've had hobbit doors, and we've had suicides, and we've had homicides.
The Hobbit doors are shaped like normal doors, though, I should note. They don't have a circular frame.
Oh, okay, see, that makes a lot more sense. There's probably an electrical box in it. I assumed you meant like there was little wooden cabins.
No. They're just small. Yeah, I assume there's just like a little electrical box or some tiny storage. But it's still funny to imagine a secret network of tunnels.
Just little gnomes that are there to stop overflowing homeless men on the track.
Yeah. When you lose your gloves on the subway, little gnomes.
Or your underpants.
That happens so often. I gotta stop taking my underpants off on the subway.
Yeah, it's just in my scenario, you don't take them off; they just vanish.
Oh, that's what I meant too. I don't do that.
Like one moment you're comfy, next you're freeballing. Okay.
Would it take you a second to notice? It would take me a second to notice. I would just feel slightly more comfortable.
Yeah, I think. See, when you get like when your nuts get stuck to the side of your leg and you go to fix it, I think that would be the moment that I'm like,
that's when I would notice. Yeah. Why is that happening?
But would you assume that you like just forgot? Because I don't think I would go. Someone has stolen my boxers.
I would definitely rewrite my own mental history. Even if I remembered putting the underwear on, I would convince myself I remembered a different day. Because it wouldn't make any sense that someone stole them off of me.
But like, would you have to get to a point where you have to start going on that specific train line with boxers on and seeing if you leave boxerless? I feel like you would end up but no one would believe you. People would just assume you've taken off your boxers at some point.
I would have to document it and try to take friends with me and have them look at my boxers before we get on the train, and then they would leave and not witness anything on the train.
But
and then would think if they stick with me, then I would be going, hey, look in my pants, there's no boxers now. And they would go, no.
You typically ask your friends in the New York subway to check in your pants.
Yeah.
That keeps you safe from the moon.
I don't.
We're back to the train tracks, Chris. I've forgotten her name because we've talked so much fucking nonsense. Marlene,
yeah.
Marlene, she gets chomped.
Do you think this feels really good or really bad? Getting all bloody.
Oh, I feel like it's... See, when you get like a bruise, it's swollen and it's kind of itchy, but it feels nice.
Yeah, you feel like a little uncomfortable, but you also feel like if you got a big needle and popped your own stomach, that you would feel amazing.
Or you just ripped ass.
Yes. Oh, that's an uncomfortable feeling, though.
Okay. She's been back.
Yeah, let's talk about the movie.
Is laying on the moves. This is what I was trying to say earlier before. I think this was like half an hour ago. It's weird because he's definitely a sexual deviant and he's punching way above his weight class. But I feel like they work really well as a couple. See, when they're having a little bicker back and forth and he's talking about how she saved his life. I don't know if it's just a testament to the actor's ability. I'd imagine not, because it's T.J. Miller. But I think
they seem like they'd be cute together.
Yeah, like if they survived this, I would want them to be a couple, which is not typically the feelings that stir within oneself when you watch a man sexually harass a girl with a camera.
Yeah.
Although there is a film.
He plays it off well enough as just really awful social anxiety, I guess.
That, and it's it's not early 2000s, it's late 2000s, but it's 2000s culture. Just a lot of people were just like that.
Yeah, I guess so.
There is a film by Cian Sono, another famous sex pest, that's supposed to be really good, but is about a peeping Tom forming a relationship with the girl he's harassing. and it's supposed to be an incredible movie. But the only available cuts right now are a 2.5 hour cut and a 4 hour cut. And within a few months, there's a 6 hour cut that I am waiting on dropping.
Is it? What's added into the 6 hour that's not in the 4 hour cut?
I don't know. I think it was one of those situations where it was intended to be like a full TV show, and then it got cut into a 4 hour movie, and then we got told that's too long. You have to cut even more.
And then they got it to not even really a full, like an actual movie length. Still kind of long.
It's okay, but I think I'm going to. It's just funny that that's a thing coming up that I'm like, oh, but I'm actually quite excited for that.
Which movie is this again?
It's called Love Exposure.
Love Exposure.
When the Umbrella, not the Umbrella, when the New Wave Blu-ray drops, I'll let you know. It doesn't have T.J. Miller, so we're already on an up.
All right, yeah, that's a positive.
Maybe it's just a genre of film that we've not explored yet. The sexual harassment romance.
Yay! Great.
Notebook, an infamous
one. We'll do a month on it.
Oh, I would not. You could not. the amount of money you would have to pay me to watch The Notebook again is not something you would ever be able to afford.
Oh, I wanted to mention the Chris Mulkey cameo. You notice Chris Mulkey? He's he plays the army guy, like the main army guy who shoves his hand in the camera. He's in an episode of Justified. I don't know what else he's been in.
Do you know who was throwing me off? I think he really looks like, see, the old guy from Game of Thrones, who was also Batman. Was he Batman in the Teen Titans show?
Oh no, that was Ian Glenn. They do kind of look similar.
They look very similar. I think it's also in those. Oh, we didn't even mention the fast moving shots. It's insane the amount of like different shots for us in this film, despite it seeming seamless the way it's edited together.
It's really well put together.
Like that's the shot of Jason being killed on the bridge. How that one like 30-second clip alone's got like 6 different shots in it.
It's so good, and that's one of the couple of parts they filmed in New York. Is on the bridge. Well, on the bridge, under the bridge in the park, and I think one other location.
I'm sure that was a partial filming. I'm sure they had a soundstage with a bit of the bridge, and then it wasn't working, and then they went and filmed a part of it at the bridge, and then they're like, okay, we've got a better idea of how this needs to be set up, and then they built a bigger bridge to finish off the shooting for it.
But yeah, there's no way they had first unit at the bridge in New York. But whatever they did to shoot there, you know, and in the composite really came out well.
But oh yeah, that was something we didn't mention. Jason gets fucking murked by a tail.
Apparently Charlene Yee is in the Partygoers as well. I'm looking at the cast list right now. Interesting.
Who's she?
She plays a character in Steven Universe and in House.
Oh, we've got the connection. It all ties back to Steven Universe.
Yeah, somehow. What was your question?
I have forgotten. Okay, we're at the military base. It's very confusing. They come out of a subway into a.
They also. I wanted to talk about this. I'm sorry. Yeah. Hold on to your thought, but I do want to mention they come out of the subway. First of all, they don't know where they're at, so I can't tell what line they came off of because they don't look anywhere when they get out of the tracks. When you get off the tracks, the station you're at will be posted every 8 feet or so, the name in bold, and every 25 feet or so, the trains you can wait for. But they have to get up past where you pay to see that they're at 59th Street. And then they walk through like mall racks, which doesn't make sense as to where the train comes out at 59th Street, but there is a building that is sort of a mall there, so it sort of can be forgiven. But then they pass through all the military and come out of the NRW entrance on 5th Avenue, which is still on 59th Street, but it's not a 59th Street station. And it's not the one that they seem to come out of, which the one that they came out of where the military people were should have been in the building that they were trying to get to. They should have been able to just get into a staircase in there.
Okay, but that was exactly what I was about to put. But they don't seem to leave out of a train station. They seem to leave out of a maintenance thing that leads into the retail shop. So maybe is it typical in New York that maybe maintenance tunnels are just in the back of certain buildings?
Sometimes, especially because there's some subway tunnels where, or yeah, I guess subway tunnels, but before where you're paying, where there's shops and things like that, and just little doors that you're not normally getting into. Clearly, they let them out into somewhere weird, but where they come out is where a station is, but it doesn't seem like it's the one that they were walking down the tracks of. And where they came out and talked to the military people seemed like they were closer to where Beth was than when they ultimately get out of there.
Okay, well,
I guess they don't have control over where they're going, but
I have a single note about that, and is that I know that the station that they enter has a sign that says, I think it's Spring Street. Is that a real place?
it is. I think that means they would have been getting on the A, which means they would have come out at 59th Columbus, which does mean that it makes no sense they ended up where they ended up.
Oh, well, there you go. But
I'm going to double check that, though.
I wonder if that's the time stage, or if they just used it.
No, Spring Street is a 6 train.
You work in the maths in your head.
Oh, no, there we go. There's a Spring Street and 6th Avenue. Yeah, that's the one I'm thinking of, with an A and an E stop. Yeah, so they're walking up that line. If they were walking where the E goes, they would wind up on 53rd Street, which would be way further away. So it doesn't really make a ton of sense, but also they're in military custody. It's not like they can really control where they're going.
Okay, so it roughly makes sense. It's kind of accurate.
Roughly. There's a couple parts of this movie where they go back on themselves, but it's excusable because they don't have control over it. But it doesn't...
I think it's understandable if a kaiju is stomping the streets nearby you.
It is. It definitely is. They're going from Spring Street, which is under where, First Street basically is. So it's more than 40 streets to get past where they're going later in the movie. They have to get to 59th Street, then they have to go back to 40th Street. And then in this section, they're sort of doubling back in the train stations. It makes sense, and it never bothers me watching it, but it also makes the movie feel slightly less propulsive than something like... Have you seen Premium Rush?
I have never heard of Premium Rush.
Premium Rush is a movie... I'm going to sound like a crazy person. It's a movie... It's directed by David Koepp, starring Joseph Gordon-Levitt as a bike messenger in New York City, and Michael Shannon plays the bad guy who's chasing him because he has something he wants. But it's filmed on location. Joseph Gordon-Levitt is riding the bike in a lot of the scenes, most of them, I think, that aren't stunts. And it's filmed on the streets chronologically, so everything is where it's set in the story, and he's going from Columbia uptown, I believe, down to like Chinatown, and it tracks him through the whole city, and that winds up feeling a lot more engaging geographically than this does. Well, I don't think it's a problem for the movie. I'm not saying it's something that needs to be fixed, but it's something I noticed watching it this time.
Well, I mean, you're the expert in it here. I'm going to be honest, there's a lot of inside baseball terms that you use there. I don't know where any streets are. The only thing I could really give you with New York is if I'm Spider-Man and I'm at anywhere in New York, I can roughly gauge where Central Park is. and that's about it.
Fair. Yeah, Central Park. It's central, so.
Yeah, but I mean, say hypothetically you dropped me somewhere in New York, I could probably take a rough guess as to where Central is without seeing any coastline. And I think that's about as good as I get. In a movie, occasionally I'll see an area and I'll go, oh, Central Park should be somewhere up that way, and that's about as good as I get.
Hell yeah. That's better than some people who live in New York.
I think I've just seen a lot of movies. I don't think it's anything to be proud of.
No, wave that flag. I'm more familiar with the west side than the east side.
Again,
just
that
because
means
it's where I've
nothing.
lived. What's up?
Like that.
You're breaking up a lot.
I said you could give me, say, a map of New York and ask me where the Bronx is, where Manhattan is. I would have zero clue. That's like the level of I have no idea.
Manhattan is the fist. It's the big landmass in the middle. Like the Gotham City of the analogy. That's Manhattan is the center bit. The Bronx is some of the top of that, and then everything above it.
Bronx is where you're like
Queens
a lot
is sort
more.
of to the right. Brooklyn is under. New Jersey is to the left. That's very
Bronx
simplified.
is like where you're getting like the kind of smaller houses, like the kind of little compact houses that don't really fit in with the rest of the city, isn't it?
Where is?
But you're getting like the little kind of poverty houses, say like Aunt May's house from Spider-Man, the Sam Raimi trilogy. Those little small, like neat side by side. You're getting that in the Bronx, aren't you?
Yeah. Yeah, that's what you're getting in the Bronx, which is interesting because Spider-Man is a Queens boy, but Queens is more gentrified now, and you have more spaces that are like big and overcharged. But like I live in Queens, and our kitchen is large, but also all the outlets are on one wall. So we can't have any appliances on the counters. The counters are not near the outlets.
Do Americans not have outlet extenders?
We do, but they would have to cross the door frame. So we bought a table for all the appliances.
No, 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 no. What you do is you can get a little metal with like staples, and you just get a super long one, and you run it along the wall.
No, that's too garish. It's a cute little corner right now. We don't need to staple. It's okay.
You don't. Well, it was an idea. Could have made you.
I appreciate it. You're not wrong. That is a good way to go about it. That's a great way to put up Ethernet cables.
I was going to say, or you could drill holes through like cabinets and feed it down, like people tend to do with Ethernet cables.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, we're getting. Do you know the only reason I know that Bronx is more little tiny houses is Ultimate Spider-Man on the PS2. Again, most of my knowledge comes from Spider-Man.
That's funny.
Where were we listed? We're at the military camp.
Brooklyn, on the other hand, is very. It's like further into gentrification, and a lot of the spaces there that will pop up are like built in a warehouse. So you have big central heating bills, and the windows are huge.
Okay.
Because a lot of the spaces weren't meant for living in, but now they're getting converted into housing because there's a high demand to live there.
I tell you what, see if anyone ever listens to this and they're moving to New York, they're sorted with this one. They're getting a full layout of everywhere. Okay, we're in. Where we need to get this plot moving. We're in the military base. I feel like
it's like a setup. There's definitely no base. It's just like a base camp that they've set up in this mall. They're in the Time Warner Center, hypothetically. It's called Deutsche Bank 1 now.
Okay. I don't know what it was. I don't know the original place anyway.
It doesn't matter. Someone knows. Someone might have gotten annoyed if I didn't say the actual name of it now, because it got bought out.
Okay,
it's a mall. It's got like a J. Crew. It's got a Shake Shack. It's got a bunch of clothing stores, a jewelry front. They
See,
used
we
to
don't
have a
have
Moleskine.
have J. Crews and we don't have Shake Shacks.
Interesting.
I think you underestimate how much of America is self-contained.
Probably do. It's just clothing stores, a burger place, a couple of nicer places to eat that have more of a view of the city. There's a jazz bar up on top of it,
Oh,
and then
that's
a
sick.
lot of like hotel room sort of spaces that people also live in.
I'm trying to think aside from fast food chains, the only stores I can think off the top of my head that we both have regularly would be a Hollister, a TK/TJ Maxx,
Yeah, what's
and a
funny about that
H&M.
one is the name isn't even the same.
Yeah, but that's copyright things. It's the same store.
Same with Burger King and Hungry Jack's.
What? Who's
You don't
Hungry
know
Jack?
what the Austria? Do you know what Burger King is? Do you have that?
Yeah, we have a Burger King.
They moved to Australia, but there was already somebody who was the Burger King, I guess, in Australia. So they had to name their franchise Hungry Jack's to
Oh,
avoid
that's
copyright.
bad. You think you'd continue the royalty theme, wouldn't you?
Yeah. No, it's just like a hungry dude. Not even Hungry Prince or something like that.
Like, you just call it like something to do with the Royale, like their iconic burgers.
Just
Because
steal the
you
Pulp
were
Fiction thing. Just call yourself a Royale with cheese. Just say that's the name of your brand now.
I feel like we've talked about this before. Because did we not also talk about how KFC and Taco Bell sometimes share the same establishments?
We have, yeah, because there's also, I think we've talked about Kentaco Huts, the elusive Kentucky Fried Chicken, Taco Bell, Pizza Hut combination.
But Pizza Hut's still about in America.
Yeah. No one out pizzas
Yeah.
the Hut.
Oh no, everyone at Pizza Hut. The Pizza Hut's shut down.
Damn. Yeah, no, they're not good. The most common combination I see is Dunkin' Donuts slash Baskin Robbins.
See, okay, we don't get Baskin Robbins, but what we do get is some places like, do you get Millie's cookies?
No.
Okay, certain like cookie or cafes will get in Baskin Robbins ice cream, which I feel like is very unnecessary
Weird.
considering it's mostly just the same flavors and the amount
It's
of effort that must take to ship international just to be a small part of another shop is
Baskin
crazy.
Robbins doesn't have that notable ice cream to me. It's fine, but it's not. I don't know. Might as well
Yeah,
just
we've
get
got
Ben and
two.
Jerry's.
No, because places don't do it. There's two big ice cream brands that are Scottish. There's oh fuck, I forget the one we used to always get in my shop, and there's McCool's. Oh,
McCool's. That's a cool
Pirelli's,
name.
Pirelli's and McCool's. There's two ones that are in Scotland, so it perplexes me that a brand like Millie's Cookies would go through the effort of getting Baskin Robbins ice cream sent over when we have that made here.
Yeah, fresh churned ice cream is going to taste so much better.
I think we also do have Dunkin' Donuts. I think we're just few and far between. There's more Wendy's opening up here soon.
Dunkin'
But
Donuts,
Wendy's
it
is
should be noted,
bad.
in New York City at least, or in I guess the tri-state area. I have to assume it's around the country. I don't know about the world. Probably not. But they manufacture all their donuts daily upstate, and then they ship them out on trucks to their stores every single day so that they're very fresh. Which produces a
But,
lot of waste, but it produces better donuts.
but you have Krispy Kremes, right?
Yes, I like Krispy Kreme.
Do Krispy Kremes not make them in store in America?
They do make them in store. We have less Krispy Kremes. We have so many Dunkin' Donuts.
I feel like one's more. See, we've completely went off Cloverfield here, but I feel like surely one's more beneficial to know how much you need to make and have people get them fresh in store rather than batch make them then send them out.
Oh, definitely. But the amount of There's so many Dunkin' Donuts in the city that it's either the way they do it or they ship them in frozen and then have them thaw them out. There's also no space in any of the storefronts in New York City that these places have taken up.
Oh, that's sad. Over here, if you do get a Krispy Kreme location, it will be a big ass shop, and you'll get like a full free window panel of watching your little hot dog, your little
Your hot dog, your glazed hot dog.
Your glazed hot dog go through like the little conveyor belt and get flipped and then come out.
It's the same. It's the same here for Krispy Kreme. That's why we have less. There's one in Times Square that when I used to work for Procter & Gamble, I actually helped them install the soap dispensers and a lot of the equipment in the location before it opened, and they gave me a free batch of donuts.
Exhilarating content. Okay, we can't, because we're gonna start going off in a thing about soap dispensers, because I can. Okay, we'll talk about soap dispensers for a second. There's a shopping centre in Glasgow, but no, wasn't in Glasgow. It was in Edinburgh, because I was in Edinburgh recently. But the handle that the water comes out when you wash your hands, the soap was midway down the handle, and then the water spout was at the end, like would typically be there. But there was 2 tubes out of the water spout which had the hand dryer, which is the most immensely dense setup I've ever seen. Because do you know what happens when you go to put soap on your hand? You get water on your arm, and do you know what happens when you go to wash your hands? Your arms activate the fucking the
I'm reeling trying to picture this.
Imagine it's like a T shape. It's like a crucifix that's pointed down towards you, and the soap comes out the midpoint of the long beam. Then the water's at the end, and then the 2 bits out the side, or the blow dryers. So all that happens is when you want soap, you get water, and when you want water, you activate the fucking blow dryer.
This sounds immensely awful.
It is, and then half of them don't have soap anyway, so you sit fucking giving it the wee under with your hand for about 5 minutes before you have to accept defeat and move on to another one.
But hoping that you create a suction vacuum to give yourself the last bit of soap that's hidden away in there.
Oh. Anyway, soap talk over. We're at the military base, Chris.
All right,
I feel like
at the military base.
I explained why our girl pops the way she does, because it's in the bite, but it's also in the slushies. But I still feel like it comes out of nowhere in the movie.
It's so good. I remember that being so fucking traumatizing as a kid.
Oh no, it's a great scene. But also I feel like, what? Why? Because like I assume it's gases release and then you explode like Henry VI. I don't know if that's too British of a reference.
Yeah, for me.
Okay. Well, we're now going into history. Henry VI, famously gluttonous man, the one that killed all his wives. He had an open casket funeral, but he had so many gases in his stomach that he blew up at the open casket funeral.
Oh. Okay.
Fun British history fact. But anyway, I still feel like, see if they turned around and she was like in the movie Sliver, like this big blob of a human. I feel like it makes more sense as to why she would then blow up.
Oh, I see what you mean. Like there wasn't enough to show that she was about to blow up, to threaten.
Yeah, because she went, "I'm fine," and then she said, "Oh, I'm dizzy," and then she fucking explodes.
All the blood coming out is pretty effective.
Yeah, the spray on the quarantine curtain.
So good.
It's a good way to get around the R rating.
Yeah.
Also, my Blu-ray is the American copy because it flashes PG-13 when I put it in, which is dumb because it's a UK Blu-ray. But it's also just a little thing. We just ripped the American version onto a Region 2 Blu-ray disc.
Nice.
Which
Make it
could
easy.
have took 2 seconds. I don't need the American FBI warning at the start of my Blu-ray. It doesn't affect me.
They're gonna get you.
Yeah, if I pirate it, but I clearly didn't fucking pirate it because it's at the start of the Blu-ray disc.
No, if you pirated it, you wouldn't have to see that.
Exactly, that's my point. So why is it there?
Because it's really stupid. They don't get it. I did want to say, before we get off of Marlene and her bite, it's really effective that when everyone around starts noticing what's going on, they all scream, bite, like this has been happening. You know, it's just like little bits of lore to the world that you don't get to see the full glimpse of.
Well, it has been happening because T.J. Miller's character focuses on a soldier that has been hollowed out when they first enter the base. They're like wheeling the corpse past them, which I feel like isn't very conducive for a quarantine zone. If you're wheeling the
no, just running the exposed quarantine victim.
But okay, so we get that. They're like, fuck it, Rob and friends, you're all getting in the helicopter. I'm just going to speed past this. Rob,
they speed past it in the movie. You know, first they get to his girlfriend up in the tower, and then they get out pretty easily. They get some rebar out of her. It's astounding that she makes it.
No, you're zooming straight past her, but we're still at the base. Remember the sergeant? He's like, you're getting on the helicopter, and he's like, no.
Oh, you're just doing the informational. Okay.
Yeah, you're going to have to kill me if you want me to get... So, Rob and friends all dip. We're running over to this is where the 9/11 imagery is like, oh, the two tower skyscrapers have crashed into each other.
Which is why they left the subway exit they left, ultimately, so they could get that shot of those towers.
It's a good shot, though.
It is. It's really effective. Where I grew up was, I'll just say, really close to those towers, and it's very cool, I guess. It's the best way I can describe it. It's haunting, but also very cool.
The one joke I actually did laugh at in this movie, you can hear my voice going because it's 2 a.m. now, but is when T.J. Miller's character goes, oh, well, if you want to get into the fallen one, why don't you just go up the other one and cross through the open window? And then they're like, oh, shit, that's a good idea. And he's like, wait, you guys never listen to me? Why is this the one fucking time you guys decide to listen to me?
Yeah, I was laughing also. That was a good joke.
Because it's smart. Because that is something that you would see that and you would go, okay, you could do that, but then you would also think, no, fuck that.
Right, there's so many things out of my control that could go wrong here. This is the best thing I could do beyond just not going in there.
And it's for some reason, when I first watched this movie, this was the scene that got me most. See them trying to like jump across the rubble from skyscraper to skyscraper. It's never been effective any other time, but the first time I watched this movie, that was the most uncomfortable I was for the entire runtime, because it's like, I know these fuckers are going to trip at some point. And
now that you mention it, same. And it hasn't affected me since then, but I remember that being really, really effective the first time I watched it.
I think it's because we know they're not going to fall now.
Yeah.
But when you first watch it, like, they've set it up. It would be strange if someone didn't fall now.
And the sound design is really good. Sort of creaking.
Okay, the one thing that does get me, see when they're trying to jump over and the fucking jets go flying past, they don't even have a good wind effect, but you know that wind is slapping them like a bitch as they're trying to jump across that fucking building.
Oof. Yeah. Wind gets bad in New York, too.
Does it?
It can, yeah, because we're sort of always near the water in a weird way, because we're an island. And then also, it wouldn't mean as much on top of the building like this, but, you know, because it's a grid system and everything is perfectly lined up in between the buildings, it can get very windy.
Oh, damn, that's the same issue you get in Glasgow Central as well. See, if it's fucking cold, you go into Glasgow Central, holy shit, it's like 10 degrees colder just because the wind funnels down every single street.
It's so awful.
And it's like, I feel like, see, we just created a little bit of open space, we wouldn't have this issue. but now it's fucking miserable in the winter just walking about the centre of a city.
Yeah, because you're just getting buffeted by air, cold, brisk air.
Okay, so we've arrived at Beth. Beth is stuck with lumbar through her stomach.
It doesn't seem to affect her after they remove this rebar.
No,
Lumbar through her stomach.
no, it's a rebar? Lumbar?
Yeah. Lumbar is, I think, part of your back, your lower back.
Oh, that was why my notes were telling me that was wrong in the autocorrect. Okay, A, I doubt Beth would survive that. B, if they left Beth would probably have survived because it seems like she wasn't bleeding because the pole was still in her. She would have probably been okay if they just left her. C,
That's a great point. She would have
she
bled
died
out.
in a worse way because they saved her.
Yeah.
Rob really fucks Beth up.
Yeah, it's an interesting dilemma, right? Because she seems like she was peaceful and maybe just not fully conscious in this building, and she got put through abject terror. She's with somebody she kind of loves at the very end of it, but she doesn't really get a choice in it.
I will say on their way out, they do come across a parasite in the stairwell, so it is possible that she may have been eaten.
Oh, ooh, rough. I want to say Rob does a great job fighting these parasites. He's knocking them down left and right.
I think by that point he just doesn't give a shit.
No.
But
somebody does get tackled. I think Lily gets tackled by a parasite in the subway and doesn't get a bite. Even though
I think they all
Marlene...
get tackled to some degree, but they just don't get bitten.
Okay.
Because Marlene saves TJ Miller's character, and Rob, I think, saves Lily.
Maybe it's because she was being more actively aggressive. Marlene is why she got bitten.
Yeah, because she was beating the shit out of him.
Yeah.
So I feel like Marlene's character, is she supposed to be like a kind of like uptight actress? Because there's a weird thing where TJ Miller's character, he's recording her at the beginning, and he says, "Oh, this is for Rob's going away thing to Japan," and she's like, "Oh, but can you contact my agent with this because we love the kind of social interaction thing." So I don't think she's supposed to be an asshole to TJ Miller's character because he's a sex pest. I think she's supposed to be an asshole because she's like this pompous rich person.
Just sort of stuck up. Yeah, she was saying for her retreat or something. She wanted him to give her. Also, she was saying that, and I was thinking, man, you should have. Oh, this girl is asking you for a card. You should have just gone, oh, I'm all out. No, but I can give you my number and you can call my agency. Just keep stringing it along.
Is that how you pick up girls? By lying to them with a camera?
No, I don't. But if you're this desperate about this and you're gonna keep trying to pursue her, even though she's not that interested in talking to you, like, isn't lying your best recourse at that point?
I suppose get a good game plan in order.
Yeah. No, it's not something I would do, but to be the most successful at what he's doing, I assume that would have helped.
Okay, so no, have we arrived at the chopper? We finally got in there, yes. I've not jumped past.
Yeah, they cut so quickly. I was planning to chart their journey a little bit more from the buildings, but they leave the buildings, they cut once or twice of them running, and then they're at Grand Central getting on the helicopters.
I find it strange that they just know the location of the helicopters because they were leaving quite a while before that. But I suppose it's whatever, it's the end of the film, they need some form of getaway. And I feel like...
Why are you surprised?
Surprised about what?
I don't understand. You said they were leaving quite some time before that? What do you mean?
Yeah, because when they're at the base, They're like, you have to get in the helicopters right now. People are leaving. And then there's quite a big time gap between them saying, no, fuck off, we're going to go get Beth, to them immediately knowing where the helicopter takeoff point is and being able to secure themselves on the last helicopters.
There's one specific army guy who pulls them aside while he's showing them the maintenance exit, and he tells them that the last chopper takes off at 0600 at 40th Street and Park Avenue.
Oh, okay, see, I missed that detail.
Yeah, he's like, you shouldn't be doing this and you're idiots, but like, I think effectively the tone is, we don't want to have to deal with you if we don't have to. We've got a lot on our plate, so just get here if you can.
I still feel like in a quarantine situation that just isn't happening.
No, but he also, I think, because he was telling them that the whole place was going to be bombed. So I think the assumption is if they don't get on those helicopters, which I guess you're right that you're infecting the helicopters maybe, but he probably assumes they're just going to get bombed.
Well, to be fair, there is a note where when they first meet up with the military base, T.J. Mills' character asks, what's happening? What is it that's attacking? He says, oh, we don't know. We've not received any orders. So it's possible that whatever is happening at that base is very just thrown together last minute. And there's no official orders for them to be doing what they're doing. They're just trapped there and making the best of the situation.
It's astounding that they're there in the first place so quickly.
Wasn't the entire New York military out shooting this thing with anti-tank rifles and miniguns?
There's no New York military.
No, but I feel like there's got to be specific military bases in New York.
There's bound to be some in upstate New York, but there's no way there's any in Manhattan proper.
I mean, there's some in the UK, there's some in South Korea. Are you sure there's not some just hiding that you don't know about?
I'm not 100% sure, because then they would be secret, but I would be surprised.
But you get what I mean. Why do you have to be pedantic about this, Chris?
I'm not trying. Sorry, my point was not to be pedantic. I didn't realize I was being pedantic. Let's continue.
I got so autistic so fast there.
It did, yeah.
Anyway, I think it's strange because I feel like the aerial shot with the helicopter is probably the only time you see Clovey in its entirety. And it's strange to think that considering I've seen the movie so many times. So anytime I see Clovey, I just instantly understand, okay, that's its anatomy, that's where its hands and face and tubes and legs should be. But
yeah, what's funny is before this I was thinking about how I've never looked at just a 3D rendering of what Clovey looks like. I like what they show me in this movie to be most of my reference of what it looks like. So I know for the most part, but I don't have a full detailed image in my mind, which helps it be a little creepier still.
Oh, I've seen. There's been so many times I've looked up just the T-pose model of Clovey. I love it so much. It's so good looking. But so we've discussed many a time. Our boy Clovey throws a banger of a pitch and takes him out in the sky, even though they weren't really causing many issues for Clovey. It was more the jet planes that were firing overhead. But we get the crash. Seemingly, Lily has escaped. TJ and Beth, they're A-okay and they pull Dan out of the helicopter. He seems a bit fucked up.
It's crazy that they survive a helicopter crash.
Yeah, no, that just isn't happening. I understand they're on grass, but that's just not happening.
No.
Especially from the height they were at.
In a city, nobody survives a helicopter crash. I'm sorry to say. There was a famous one relatively recently that did not go well.
Oh, there was a famous one in Glasgow. I say relatively recently. I was a teenager where the bridge leading into Glasgow Central, there's a pub right on the corner, and a helicopter crashed into that. That killed so many fucking people. It's like there was people were dead on impact, and that was only from a small hotel height. That wasn't from like you're above the skyscrapers level height.
That's terrifying. Helicopters are so scary.
Yeah, I think it's the only mode of. I think it's probably the one I would least likely to go on. That wasn't good English, but
I've been in one before, but I think I would be more trepidatious now.
after watching Cloverfield,
No, just in general, because they don't support themselves. They don't glide. If the motor stops, you're fucked. It's just
what
a
have you got
rock
out
at that point.
and spun it with your hands really, really, really quickly?
Yeah, I mean, I am pretty aerodynamic and skilled, so I could pull it off, but I don't want to have to do that, you know?
I feel like that should be the pilot's job. But then who's piloting it?
Yeah. How do you even fly those? You have pedals? That's scary.
Yeah, and it's like I understand a plane to go up, you have to angle up, and then you have to kind of drop up to get. But when you're in a little tiny box, constantly wiggling up and down,
Yeah,
I
you're
feel like
you're keeping so many different axes and dimensions in mind. Why? There's no reason. Don't do it.
I don't like when a plane does it. See, when you're forced at takeoff, and they do the wee up and drip and up and drip. I'm like, why
Yeah.
just I don't
There
want to think
is
of it.
something that looks like a helicopter that Clovey throws right before their helicopter takes off. And I hope it's a car. I hope it's not Lily's helicopter.
I don't think Clovey could reach high enough to, because otherwise, why is he throwing things?
Yeah, true.
I do like
All
that.
right, Lily makes it out. I have to believe that.
I do like that in all this chaos, the helicopter crash seems to be what drives Clovey's attention the most.
It is, yeah,
Presumably,
and making the helicopter crash.
you could say, okay, they're probably using smaller bombs to get Clovey towards Central Park so the nuke doesn't do as much damage. But I think it's much funnier to, for some reason, Clovey just is pissed off with TJ Miller specifically.
Yeah,
Because like,
it's like,
you see
stop
when
filming me.
he picks
That
up the
does make
camera.
sense. That seems like why they're doing what they're doing to drive it in.
See, that's the character arc though. He's sexually harassing people with his camera. Clovey did not consent to being on camera at any point in this film.
It was just trying to ask him to delete the footage the whole time.
It was an embarrassing moment for it. It was just born.
Yeah, it doesn't know what it's
I
doing.
thought the Statue of Liberty was a big lady.
There's a great shot. I remember this being really impactful in the theater and feeling like it lasted forever. When the helicopter crashes and the camera is just still, and you hear some rustling, but you don't know if it's somebody moving or somebody checking on the helicopter crash.
For me, the iconic shot of this moment is when TJ Miller picks back up the camera, and you just feel behind him, and he goes, "Oh," and Clovey's just staring at him.
Yeah, it's rough to be right where you don't want to be.
But also, I feel like that's where it looks its cutest in the movie, because he's got his you see
It's
he's
in
got
broad
airbags,
daylight.
but he's not biting at first. He's almost curious. It's like, have you ever seen a frog look at a bug before it attempts to eat it?
Yes.
That little
Curious, but
perplexed.
in like a I'll never understand you kind of way.
But okay, so we get that, and then
He gets eaten.
he gets munched. Rob and Beth, they hide in the tunnel.
Rob takes the camera because they have to film for HUD for some reason.
Yeah, well, to be fair, HUD makes a point throughout the movie. He's like, people will want to see this footage when it's over. And he probably is the
Yeah,
only person on the ground with a camera.
true. It's early enough that you don't know.
I mean,
If
he
it were
got,
now, this stuff would be online immediately.
I mean, man got 8 hours worth of footage. Think how much you could piece it up and sell that to the news.
True. Yeah. If you lived.
Write an autobiography, get a movie made about you. You'd have been rolling it.
Yeah, movies
He's
on
thinking the long
movies.
game. Okay. But we get the should be touching moment of Rob and Beth being together before they get fucking obliterated. By being
Yeah, they're
like
both just sobbing horribly.
But I mean, it's like we get the final shot of
It's
the
kind of
last
notable.
time.
It's a notable shot. It's a little Blair Witchy.
Yeah, we get the last shot of Rob and Beth on their like last date, not a date, where in the background you can see something fall into the water. Now, okay,
That's
I
a
explained
satellite, right? That woke Clovey up.
that it's okay if you follow the ARG, that is supposed to be a satellite that woke Clovey up, but also the ARG says the mining operation to get the seabed nectar woke Clovey up. People asked J.J. Abrams. J.J. Abrams said, I don't know, it depends on what I want to do in the future. So people asked Matt Reeves, and Matt Reeves said, oh, it's a satellite that woke up Clovey. But now, Matt Reeves, when he gets asked in interviews, goes, oh no, that was the alien. And sometimes now, J.J. Abrams, if you ask him, will sometimes say, oh, that was Clovey as an alien. But he'll also sometimes say, no, that was a satellite.
Weird.
So there is
Okay.
no real canon to this movie. They just
That
make shit up
sucks.
as it comes up to them.
Yeah, that's
It's like
unfortunate.
even you get the end of the credit with that like is it a reverse message or is it just a garbled message of them saying, oh, it's still alive? Just didn't nothing
Oh,
came
I
of
thought they
that.
were saying we're still here.
Are we not saying it's still alive?
I'll turn on subtitles and I'll fast forward to the end. I always thought they were just saying we're still here, like they are breathing under the rubble.
No, they're dead. Chris forgotten.
Well, I know. I know they're not going to be in a sequel.
We got nuked, Chris.
Yeah.
The
Yeah,
tension's
they're
killing
fucked.
me.
Phil, while I'm looking, is it at the end of the regular credits?
I'm sure it's at the very, very end of the credits, is it not? Or I'm sure this is a big point of contention online.
Hmm.
But I don't know if it's intentionally like you're not supposed to be able to hear it unless you're looking for shit.
Maybe. Yeah, I'm not seeing it in this copy I'm using for whatever reason.
Well, regardless, it doesn't fucking matter
Regardless.
anyway. Because J.J. Abrams doesn't know what he's doing. And Matt Reeves doesn't know what he's doing. And Bad Robot, they do not know what they're doing. For the sequel, we've had about 3 directors, we've had about 3 writers. Some of them still say they're doing it, but then when they get asked, they say, oh, I don't know. I may be still doing it. I don't know how you don't know. It's your job. Are you doing it or not? I
That's
don't know. Cloverfield, the franchise is
annoying.
starting to piss me off.
Yeah,
Because
because
it's like,
it
why?
felt thought out because of the ARG. It seemed like there was a consistent universe.
And like, okay, we're jumping into another one, but there's a
You were
good
right, by the way.
ARG.
I googled it. It's when played in reverse. The audio says it's still alive.
Haha, see, 2:30 in the morning, I've still got it in the brain. But if
I
you
would
go
love to see a
into,
second one. I don't know if it'll be good, but I would love to see another one.
I don't care if it'll be good. I just want to see Clovey on the screen again. That's not in
Me too.
Paradox.
Me too.
But even if you go into, say, 10 Cloverfield Lane, the ARG for that is good. And it connects to stuff from Cloverfield. The timeline doesn't work out. So you go, okay, so it's anthology, but some shit carries over. Okay, that's fine. But then they just fuck it in the ass with Paradox anyway and just not make any sense.
In a weird way, it tries to make it make sense, and it ruins everything in the course of that. Because sure, any two movies could be linked by saying they're part of a multiverse. You know, it doesn't mean anything really.
Like you say you took Overlord that was at one point going to be a Cloverfield. That fits in the lore and is just another Cloverfield movie. I don't like the film, but it fits in with the lore. That's fine to turn into a Clover. But the God Particle, the film that they turned into Paradox, just doesn't fit the lore at all.
What's
You don't
weird
even
is I would have said that about Was it called The Bunker? 10 Cloverfield Lane?
Yeah, 10 Cloverfield Lane.
Yeah, when it was The Bunker, I would have said the same thing. I would have said that it doesn't make sense to turn it into something a little more sci-fi. But it worked out. I imagine there's a reality where they make it work, but they have to rescript it or redo. The reason that it worked with 10 Cloverfield Lane is because it's already such a contained story, and then they effectively just had to add ideas onto the end of it. Whereas Paradox, they're trying to take something that is just a weird sci-fi story and make every part of it relevant to a universe that they have not worked to establish at all, which is really stupid. I wish Paradox was good. I love the idea at the start of it of we're in we're in a space station, we're testing this big space laser, and then we test it once and oh no, the Earth's gone. That's a crazy idea. I love that idea. It's so scary. But it's such a bad movie.
It's that, and also the idea that because you typically get all multiverses are colliding, and then what will happen is someone's face gets stretched out or something. But the fact that like body parts are being removed and it's not acting the way it should, or like magnets are attracting things that magnets shouldn't attract.
Oh yeah, the hand. There's cool stuff in that movie, which is unfortunate.
Like they're somehow magnetizing to the ship, but the ship's not a solid anymore. It's like liquidizing as they suck into it. There's a lot of cool shit in it, but it's just a bad movie with some cool scenes.
Yeah, I do wish we got whatever that was supposed to be to start with, but I'm sure if we got God Particle, it would not have had the budget of Cloverfield Paradox, so whatever.
I suppose, but like even if the story didn't connect, but it was a good movie, that's fine. You can work with that because I'd say 10 Cloverfield Lane is arguably maybe a better movie than Cloverfield. 10 Cloverfield Lane's a great film.
Yeah, it has more emotional propulsion to it, definitely.
And the cast is incredible for it.
Yeah, and that's where most of that comes from, and the mystery of John Goodman's character. There's nothing riveting in this movie beyond the concept and the execution. And both of those carry it a long, long way. It's really well put together. But there's no real interesting story even to this movie.
It's kind of sad that in the best timeline for the franchise it would have been that J.J. Abrams doesn't try to make it an anthology and actually just gets too scared that would fuck it up and just makes it a Cloverfield monster outside of the bunker.
That would have been really fun.
But then the timeline doesn't work because this took place in 2008, and then I think Cloverfield Lane's like 2011. And
yeah,
there's weird mentions of what happened in Europe, but no one's ever like, what are the aliens, that big fucking monster that attacked New York?
It sucks that they don't nail it down, and that it never fully, and that we don't get to see. Like you kind of wish at the very least from Paradox that we got to see a half a second more of full size Clovey, because we probably won't get that in this sequel.
As we were talking about earlier, I don't think there is any way you could do it more than what.
No, I know. I think we've talked about it besides this conversation before. Also, like, there's no way you can render that fully, but I don't know, because it would just be a dust cloud. Is all you would be able to see.
You would see like a leg take 5 minutes to drop, and then the tectonic plates of the Earth would crumble, and you would die in a
the Earth is done, right? At that point,
you have the weight of it. Well, to be fair, if you're going scientific, I'm pretty sure the weight of it, gravity, would turn it into a puddle of mush the second it tried to leave the ocean.
That's funny.
Also, what's it gonna if it leaves the ocean? Is the ocean just like dropping by like 2 meters across the
Yes, the
globe?
displacement is crazy on that. No
What's it gonna
ocean
do with the
anymore.
like gravitational pull of the moon? I
Yeah, I
will
was
say
thinking
this.
about that. The tides of having something the mass of the moon on Earth.
I will say that.
Underwater is the
The
one that seems like it could be the closest to. You're right. Even though it doesn't seem like it was produced with that in mind at all. It feels like it could link into it.
you just make the little gangly boys the parasites, and then have Mummy Clovey at the end, and then that's all
Because
you have
they
to do.
even
You don't.
have hints to larger lore in Underwater. There's stuff in Vincent Cassell's locker that show that he was part of like some sort of Cthulhu cult, probably.
Was there?
Yeah, there's some very, very mild hints in Underwater that there's a cult inside of this company that is hoping that they'll awaken Cthulhu. There's so like very, very tiny
Oh
hints.
shit! Okay, after we're done with this, I'm whipping up things you may have missed on YouTube.
Hell yeah. It's really
Yeah,
cool.
crazy.
And I both wish they did more with it and also love that they didn't. That it's just like a piece of paper on a table here during a montage or a little bit of graffiti on a wall. Like it's so subtle, it's sort of dead spacey.
Yeah, but then again, all you have to do is on the set is you just have it be like a Tagroatl letter and have something mentioning seabed nectar.
That's what I
And
mean.
then
Yeah,
boom.
like they already have these little breadcrumbs put into the background, so there's no reason they couldn't switch those out or add a couple more in. Like it almost feels like it was supposed to have. It doesn't feel like it was supposed to have that at some point, but it feels like it could have been designed to.
I also feel like the film would have worked better if he followed the colour palette established in Cloverfield and 10 Cloverfield Lane was like
Yeah,
kind
less
of
blue, more
darker green.
orange.
Yeah, more orange, more greens, so you can actually see what the
Yeah.
fuck.
The blue is too inviting. It's a little too comforting.
I also think no, I think it's the dark blue and underwater. It's such a deep blue that when it contrasts with the black shadows, half the time you just cannot tell what is happening.
I do like that for the bits where they're walking underwater. I think that works well because
I,
you're supposed to feel like the characters feel.
it does, but then when they do the creature reveals, you're like, wait, was I supposed to have seen that?
Well, fair. Okay. Yeah, if you're not seeing that. By the
Maybe it
way,
was a bad.
Underwater, another T.J. Miller movie, oddly enough.
Oh yeah, and I feel
He's
like Mary
it's the same thing.
Elizabeth.
He's kind of all right in that movie.
Yeah, I feel like Mary Elizabeth Winstead would have also been a better pick than Keira Knight. Is it Keira Knightley in Underwater? No, it's Natalie Portman.
No, Natalie. No, oh, I'm just saying what you're saying. It's Kirsten Stewart. Kristen Stewart.
Why are those three people identical people?
I don't know. There's a lot of actors like that. I think Kristen Stewart's really good in it. I don't like her voiceover. I think that's the only bad part of the performance. And I think that's more a symptom of they shouldn't have done a voiceover at the start and the end of the movie.
It's the weirdest anomaly about that film. The fact that I forget the girl's name, but the girl that's in Iron Fist, the one who has like
Jessica something. I like her a lot. I forget her name also. She's in that not Fallout movie.
yeah. But anyway, she typically her acting isn't the best, and she's in a cast with a bunch of very big name actors, and I feel like she gives by far the best performance out of the entire cast.
She's really good in it. Yeah.
Anyway, I feel like we finished with Cloverfield, and now we talked about 10 Cloverfield Lane, and now we're talking about Underwater.
And we're definitely going to do an episode on both of those movies at some point.
I don't think either are on Tubi, unfortunately.
Unfortunately. Yeah. Do you know
But
about
anyway,
the bunny gaslighting on the set of Underwater?
the bunny gaslighting.
This is something I want to talk about it now so that we can set up talking about it more in our episode and see how true it holds. But there's a lot of references to Alice in Wonderland in Underwater, sort of by
Oh,
design. Uh, right, yeah, I think it would be fun to talk about in that instead of me just bringing that up at the end of an Underwater episode. But TJ
oh,
Miller, he has a
yeah.
fake bunny he's carrying around all the time, right? And he's treating it like a real bunny, and he's kind of acting like a crazy person. On on the set, they filmed every shot with a real bunny and with the fake bunny. And I think they told him that they were going to use the shots with the real bunny. So in all the shots with the fake bunny that they actually used, he's talking to it like he's talking to a real bunny.
Hmm. That's interesting. I feel
It's
like
overly convoluted, I know, but it is interesting.
it's not even. I feel like the concept of that, like of taking the Alice in Wonderland plot structure and applying it to Lovecraftian horror, is done infinitely better in any other Lovecraft story than What If Cthulhu Was a Big Fish Thing Underwater. I feel like
Yeah,
that's the
definitely.
worst story to take for that. Also,
That's why I
Cthulhu is
want to talk about it because I don't think it succeeds entirely.
and I
Besides,
feel
like, going down the rabbit hole as a metaphor, I don't think it really is an Alice in Wonderland allegory.
I feel like I'm being offensive not using his name properly, but Cthulhu, he's also just the shittest Lovecraft creature because he wakes up. Typically, if a Lovecraftian deity wakes up, that means either the world or the universe ceases to exist instantaneously, and he can get slapped by a boat and then go, fuck, I need to go back to sleep. In the story, he is beaten by a man going, we're just going to hit him with our fucking boat.
In what? In Underwater, you're saying?
No, in Call of Cthulhu, the
Oh,
H.P.
okay. I
Lovecraft
haven't
story.
read. Well, I think Dagon is the only Lovecraft story I've read.
Yeah, but Dagon's okay because it's fish people because we're still half people. So it would make sense you could hit them with a boat and take them out.
That's true. Yeah. Yeah, he just hits Cthulhu with a boat in Call of Cthulhu.
Yeah, Call of Cthulhu, it's weird. There's a detective and he's having weird visions after he finds the little statue. You always see a Cthulhu sitting on like a podium, and then it gets really racist, and he like goes to Africa and finds a tribe and talks about
Good.
how scary all the black people are.
Yeah, that's
And
the stuff
then
that I'm worried about.
yeah, Call of Cthulhu is probably the most racist one I would say. But
Are they worth reading besides that one, maybe?
I mean, I feel even with the race, there's still cool stuff in all of his stories.
Okay.
I'd say Mountains of Madness is probably my favourite one I've read of his. There is a few that you'll start listening, you'll be like, this is a cool setup, and then he'll just be like, and then a big fish monster that you cannot comprehend ran about,
Oh yeah.
and then I ran away.
Are you?
And you're like,
Do you think the Mountains of Madness adaptation will ever happen? The Del Toro one?
not the Del Toro one, but isn't the director that did Colour Out of Space, people called him a rapist for a bit, and then it got found out he wasn't a rapist, and then he said he was making more Lovecraft movies. Was he not doing Mountains of Madness? No, he was doing
Oh,
Dunwich,
I don't
wasn't
know,
he?
but that's so much lore.
Yeah,
Oh
people
my
were like,
god.
he's a creepy rapist man, and then it came out he wasn't a creepy rapist man, and everyone's like, actually, he was a really nice man. We feel bad now.
That's a wild turnaround.
But yeah, he said he was making more. I think his
He's
plan
working
was,
on something called Dunwich, based
yeah, I
on the
think
Dunwich horror, I imagine.
he's doing Dunwich, and then I think he wanted to do Mountains of Madness.
He's
Which
also
Mountains
working
of
on.
Madness?
He's writing on
Yep.
Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey 3.
Oh,
And
oh,
then
his
he's
career
working on
horrible.
Steel Donkeys and The Palace.
Oh my poor baby. His career took a beating. Oh,
Yeah.
oh
Yeah.
well.
He's only writing, also. Oh no,
Maybe
he's
one.
directing Dunwich.
Oh, he's director. Good, good, good.
Well, maybe I'm just looking at his writing credits. Let me see. Yeah, Steel Donkeys is what he's directing.
I assume that's not a Lovecraftian adaptation.
It doesn't seem like it.
Well,
it's about an ancient demon. 3 teen thieves at a music festival try to steal a powerful artifact from a rock star.
Oh, maybe that's his take on the Cthulhu statue.
Maybe. Sounds cool.
Anyway, I think this is us just about done, isn't it? Because I think, usually it's during the film we'll talk more about things that are not the film, and I feel like we've probably doubled the length just talking about not Cloverfield at the end.
Yeah, it's Cloverfield. What do you want? You know what it is. It's Cloverfield. You've seen it. It's good.
Well, you've not...
Watch it again after this.
Oh, yeah, fun note. I forgot to say, because we skimmed past it. I always thought this movie was a disaster movie. As a child growing up, I saw the DVD of Cloverfield so many times, and I was like, people keep telling me I'm going to like that, but that looks like a disaster movie. Until one day I went, do you know what, fuck it, I'll just watch it anyway. And
yeah, I never asked you about your first time watching this.
Yeah, you can imagine the shock when I saw Clovey's hand smashing the side of a building. I was like, wait, hold on. People were cooking.
That's such a cool experience.
It did go from instantly, I'm not going to like this, to holy shit, this is one of my favorite movies, actually.
I think about that when I'll tell people at work about the podcast, and I'll mention the movies we're watching, and people just have less of a pop culture knowledge of some of these things than I expect. So when I'm telling someone about Cloverfield and they don't know about it, I'm wondering if I should just sell it as a disaster movie. Because the movie does have a build-up to it that's really effective. If you manage to start watching it without knowing it's a monster movie, it doesn't tip its hat soon at all. It's the end of the first act, maybe you're starting to see monster things.
Well, I mean, even I'm looking at the Blu-ray case, and you can see Clovey getting bombed on the back of it. Well, to be fair, this is also the steelbook, so if I take off the case, it is Clovey, like it's like a painting of Clovey in New York with fire around him. And then if I open up the case, if I can with one hand, because I'm holding this, it's artwork of a video camera recording them running.
That's cool.
Sick. Yeah, I like the.
I want that.
I don't know if I could hold on. I'll check the DVD cover. I'll see that. The benefits of, but it pisses me off. I was going to get another Cloverfield steelbook, and I turned my nose up at it because I was like, I already have it so many times, and now I really want it because it looks like an ammo tin. Fuck, whatever it's called.
Oh, that's cool.
No, the DVD doesn't spoil it.
That's cool. All right.
Yeah, you just have to make sure we don't. Does the blurb spoil it? No, it just says from visionary producer J.J. Abrams and director Matt Reeves comes a worldwide sensation of non-stop terror.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. The fact that they don't spoil that. I feel
I like the idea of getting someone to watch it without knowing.
You should probably maybe ask your co-workers to like come over to your house and be like, watch this movie, but you can't know anything about it.
Slap their phone out of their hands.
Like, don't you dare look at fucking Letterboxd.
And they go, what's Letterboxd?
Yeah, see the amount of people in work I talk to about films, and I go, oh, so what's your Letterboxd? And they go, oh, I've heard about that, but what should I get it? I'm like, brother, what do you mean? Should you get
You
Letterboxd?
should have gotten it before this conversation.
What do you mean you watch movies but you don't have, like, how do you know what you've seen? How do your friends know what you've seen? What are you talking about?
How do you exist?
How do you just talk to people? That's fucked up.
That is fucked up. How could you do that?
Because I've got a co-worker. He'll have seen all the weird shit that I watch. But also, if I've not seen them in like 3 days and I've seen 6 movies, I'm not going to remember every fucking movie I've seen.
No, me neither. It goes so fast. Then there's so many movies to watch.
Anyway, I think we're just going to start yapping and yapping and yapping. I think this is
what's the movie most like Cloverfield to you? I was just thinking about, this is a pretty unique movie.
Weirdly, I think like Godzilla 2006, 2003.
Interesting. Okay.
Really bad one. Because it's the only because the 2014 Godzilla is also from the human's perspective, but it's from a military guy going about. But you're not really dealing with Godzilla.
That is probably my comparison, is Godzilla 2014. Just because of how effective it is when you see the monster, but you're right that the rest of it is very different.
Found footage monsters, maybe the Frogman will be close.
Oh yeah. Do we know what we're watching next week?
No clue. I'll have to do the little monthly post again.
Okay. Yeah, well, follow us at the Uncanny Valley Pod on Instagram for updates. We'll put updates for next week. And email us at theuncannyvalleypodcast@gmail.com if you have input. If you have suggestions, we're doing Tubi Tuesdays next month. So anything you can suggest that's on American Tubi. You're using a VPN, right, to use American Tubi?
I'm using a VPN. If there's an Indian Tubi, I can be on it. It does not matter to me.
Okay. Yeah, so me too. So any Tubi. As long as it's on Tubi, we'll watch it. Something I was annoyed by looking at Tubi is that I found a Russian movie that now I can't find. I fell asleep watching it, and I can't find anything by the name of what I watched. I wonder if it was a haunted movie. But these things are dubbed automatically. You can't watch them in their native tongue with subtitles, which kind of sucks.
See, that's when I'll be using my not Tubi apps, if that happens.
Yeah, fair.
But yeah, also, end of the month, capping it off with finally an analog horror. Hopefully you'll actually like it, because if you actually like it, that could be like an end of month thing. But if you watch it and you're like, this is fucking shit, then I guess analog horror's out the window.
That would be a funny, depressing end to this thing we've been planning for months now.
There's so much shit to do. Even if you don't like, say the backrooms, I'm sure there's different styles of ones. Again, I'm sure you will like the audio recording Greylock if we get around to it.
Okay, sounds interesting.
So that is. Anything else?
No, I think that's it. I think somewhere right before this.
I'm not quite sure how to help you with that.
Well, definitely now. What the fuck? I didn't even know. Get out of here. That freaked me out. I didn't know my aunt had a Siri or something hooked up, an Alexa.